Hi everyone. So in previous lecture we have discussed about comparators. We have started this third part of your second module. So we have seen what exactly the comparator is, different types of comparators. We have discussed this mechanical comparator in detail, and we have seen different types of mechanical comparators. Then now in this lecture probably we will be discussing about this pneumatic comparators, optical comparators, electrical comparators. This is general characteristics of comparators. Then we have seen different applications or uses, and we have discussed these mechanical comparators in detail. So basically mechanical comparators can be divided into these types: dial indicator, Johnson microcator, reed type comparator and sigma comparator. So we have seen dial indicator, how exactly what is the working of this dial indicator and what is its constructional details. These are few practical examples. We have seen application. Then we have discussed about this Johnson microcator. Basically this bell cantilever mechanism is used. We have seen its principle, working principle, construction details, its advantages and disadvantages. Then we moved towards this reed type comparators. We know that two horizontal, two vertical reeds are used. We have discussed its working principle, different advantages and disadvantages. And then we have discussed constructional details and working of the sigma comparator. This looks like complex in structure, but still it is simple to understand and understand the movements transferring, how the motion is transferred from this plunger to this driving drum and how the readings are magnified on the scale. Okay, so now we will discuss optical comparator, electric comparator and pneumatic comparator. So optical comparator is very simple to understand. The only thing is we use some lenses, some mirrors, glasses in comparators. In those cases we can call them as optical, and the principle is optical. With the help of optical image we will see the difference in the dimension. Okay, the main important source is the light source. Through this light source the scattered rays are passed. This is a light source and this is a light which is passed, and this light is passed to the condenser. This is a condenser zone or a condenser where it is passed, and see, as the name itself implies, it condenses the light. See, this light which is coming from the light source, it is accumulated at a single point here, and the intensity of light is increased by this condenser, and then the light is again passed to the projection lens. This is a projection lens, and in this projection lens the rays are passed, parallel rays are passed on the mirror. Okay, so this is how the light is coming from this light source. Now we will go ahead from this workpiece. See, the workpiece is placed just below this plunger. This is a plunger and this is a pointer, stylus we can call it a. So any vertical movement in the dimension will cause this arm to move. See, sometimes this can be called as mechanical optical comparators. The complete principle, reading principle is optical. but we use some these arms, and these arms are used in mechanical, so sometimes it is called as mechanical optical, but we can call it as optical comparator as well, because the working principle is optical. Only few arms are used which belongs to mechanical parts or mechanical mean. So the upward movement of this plunger, with the help of this, there might be some pivot point, with the help of it there will be an upward movement of this arm, okay, and any little upward movement will cause this mirror to change the angle, okay, this angle will be changed. And now you can see, if this angle will be changed, there will be change in this rays, those are coming on the screen where the image is generated. See, first what will happen, the standard object is placed just below this plunger. For example, if this, as we have discussed previously, if it is 99.5, okay, so in that case we have to consider this line as a reference line. Means we can say, see, as in case of dial indicator, first we make it 0 and then we go for taking measurements. The same case, at a specific mirror angle, at the specific lines, for example, if this is a screen and these are the lines, light rays, okay, these are the light rays, maybe I can say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, okay. These are reference lines, you can consider this case. When the standard is placed 99.5, first I have to make it 99.5, and these are considered as a reference dimension or reference lines. Now if this angle is changed, now I have replaced this standard with the job or workpiece need to be measured or compared, right. So if there will be a little movement, if the dimension, I have to measure this workpiece, if the dimension is of 100 mm, then there will be upward movement of this plunger, so this angle will change, okay, this angle will change. So see, if this angle is changed, what will happen, this magnifications will be reduced or increased. See what will happen, how these magnifications will be reduced. This is a projection lens, okay, and through this projection lens the rays are coming down from the light source as it is shown here, and you can say if this is a mirror, see this is a mirror, you can consider this is angle theta. At this angle, if these lines are coming down, this will touch at this point, okay, and this will again will go on the screen. Now you can observe the distance between these two lines. The distance between these two lines is larger as compared to the distance between these two lines. So this, what does it mean? These rays have been magnified, means those rays are not visible here with the eyes, but yes, on the screen it can be visible. This is for example, and if this angle is reduced, for example, if it is further inclined, if this angle is increased, theta angle is increased, so these rays are coming down, one ray will touch to this portion, one will touch to this portion, maybe in this way, and then this will be again reflected back on the screen. So now this distance is again multiplied. So if this angle is increased, inclination is increased, you will get maximum magnification. So now coming back to this sketch, so when there will be upward movement of the piston, there is one pivot point which is here, Okay, so this pivot point, this will be pivoted at this point, and upward movement of this plunger, sorry, okay, here there will be no any upward movement, there will be downward movement, because if this is moving up, this will move down. In that case, this angle will increase. This is theta angle, this angle will increase. So this mirror may take this position. Due to that, this magnification will increase, and what will happen, the reference line there will be, if this angle is, these references lines may move towards left or towards right in this way. Okay, because these are reference lines, and if it is moving to a specific percentage, you can measure this distance, because what is the distance, and if further angle is increased, this magnification may goes to here, so you can measure this distance. So you will just compare whether, see, from reference line which is set by using standard, what is the percentage of variation of the dimension when there will be upward movement of plunger. That will, see, that you will be able to see on this screen. Okay, so this is an optical comparator, and these dimensions, this distance can also be tracked with the help of this digital board or digital display. And there is one other type of optical comparator. Instead of this screen, simply we will be having one eyepiece. Okay, through this eyepiece you have to see, instead of this display, through this eyepiece you have to observe the readings. That is the only difference. So in this way, this optical comparator will work, and you will get the comparison here. Okay, so advantage, it has a small number of moving parts. Obviously, if you are comparing it with the mechanical, then this will be having a small moving parts, and hence obviously smaller the moving parts, higher the accuracy. In the optical comparators, the scale can be made to move past a datum line and thus have high range of and no parallax errors. Okay, see, as the magnification is very high, and directly with the image form, directly with the very large screen, we will be able to see if this is a datum line, it is 0. If the angle is varied, this datum line may move here. So easily it can be tracked, this distance. So there will be a little parallax error which can be found with the mechanical comparators. An optical lever which we have used is weighless. So it, see, as we have discussed, this is weighless or very less weight, so it cannot be considered, but sometimes in practical application it is considered, and it can be called as mechanical optical comparator. Disadvantages, even though the accuracy is good, but still it is limited to 0.001 mm. So till 0.001 mm variation in dimension can only be magnified. So this is the accuracy of this particular instrument. Then they have their own built-in illuminating device which tends to hit the instrument. See, in optical, basically we use this light source. So due to this light source, there might be the possibility that they will hit the instrument, and obviously as the light source is required, electric supply is required. Eyepiece type instrument may cause strain on the operator. See, now we have discussed this projection type instrument, but there is one eyepiece type instrument. Instead of the long screen, we use only a single eyepiece to observe the reading. In that case, it may cause strain to the operator. If you continuously look into that, it may cause strain. Okay, now we'll move towards electrical comparator. The construction is again very simple. See how the complete setup will look like. So this is a setup, electrical comparator. This is a plunger. See, electrical comparator need to be connected to the power source, and there will be a display screen, electric supply, work table. Okay, the main measuring principle can be explained with this diagram. Okay, simple. Now why it is called as electrical? This is because the magnification, you will get the magnification in terms of electrical parameters, maybe current, electromotive force, magnetic field, etc. And obviously in electrical you have to make use of electrical windings or magnets, armature, etc. So see, this is surface need to be checked. This is a plunger. If there will be a dimension variation, there will be upward or downward movement of this plunger. So this plunger has kept at this position with the help of this spring, okay, to this position. And the most important thing is this magnets. So this is basically a armature. This is a armature rod, as you can see here. This is armature rod. This plunger has touched to this armature rod, and the armature rod is kept at this position with the help of this plunger and this spring. Okay, and there are basically two magnets, magnet C and magnet D. And now what will happen? See, if there will be any vertical movement of this plunger, what will happen? This distance will change. Now when we use this standard object, instead of this surface need to be checked, we have to place it here, and we have to balance this in this way, balance this armature in this way, so that electrical parameters can be maintained, well maintained to the specific values. What electrical parameters now? See here you will be coming across some electrical part. These magnets are there. Sometimes windings are also used on these magnets. So what will happen? See, as magnets are placed on both the sides, it will create a magnetic field. See, this B is magnetic fluxes. So the direction of magnetic flux in this way. Okay, so this is moving, and this magnetic flux are having specific magnitude. If this armature, see, the gap is maintained in between this magnet and this armature. Okay, so you will get a specific value of this flux lines, and this will produce electromotive force or inductance. Okay, there will be, see, if this is a gap in between this armature and this magnet, then there will be a specific value of electromotive force or specific value of inductance. Inductance is basically the resistance to the generation of current. So if the upward movement of plunger will reduce this gap, upward movement of plunger will reduce this gap, and what will happen? The inductance will increase, the resistance will increase, and this inductance will be captured or measured. So every time there will be upward movements, this value at one side, the inductance value will increase. If there will be a downward movement, the inductance value, this gap will reduce, and the inductance value will increase to the downward side. So in this way, the dimension can be compared, that what is the variation, and this inductance values will be captured, and based on this inductance values, as it is already compared with the standards, it would be obviously from this inductance value we get to know about the values in mm. Okay, So this inductance values are captured, and from this inductance values, what exactly how the inductance values are changes, based on that what dimension can be tracked, or what is the variation of dimension can be identified. So in this way, with the help of this electromotive force or inductance, or basically by changing or by observing the electrical parameters, we will be able to see the variations of this dimensions. So this is basically electrical comparator. And variable sense, see there is one electronic comparator, but it is never asked in exam even, and many times, most of the times, electrical comparators can be combined with the electronic comparators. There only a little difference in it. So advantages: variable sensitivity. See, if you have used electromagnets, by changing the magnetic field, will be changing the sensitivity of the instrument, which can be adjusted as per the requirement. Obviously, it is having sensitivity, is having impact on the accuracy. Less moving parts, it is true in this case also. Due to that, the accuracy can be retained over long periods, and higher magnification as compared to mechanical comparator. Disadvantages: the accuracy of working of these comparators is likely to affect due to temperature and humidity. Okay, because wherever the inductance is generated, obviously heat is generated, because there is a resistance, current will be flowing. So in those cases, basically the temperature will increase, and if there is a humidity, in those cases this will affect the accuracy of this instrument, but still it is better as compared to mechanical. So let's move towards the last type of comparator, which is pneumatic comparator. Pneumatic means air. We use air in the comparator. This is again very simple construction. We need one compressor to pressurize the air. This air will be transferred to the filter, where this air is filtered, and again this is transferred to this, through this orifice it is transferred to this gauging head, or this, sometimes this can be called as piston, because this is moving. Okay. So now coming to this part, the pressure is properly maintained with the help of this water tank, manometer and dip tube. So the required air which is passed here on this gauging head, the specific here, and this pressure is maintained here. The required pressure is only with the help of this manometer, pressure on this side is measured and it is maintained, the same pressure is maintained on this side every time, so that we will get accurate readings. Okay. If the pressure is reduced, increased, it can again be, if it is increased, then a part of air will be transferred here, and which is vented to the atmosphere, the pressure is reduced and the required value is transferred to this pipe. Okay. So once required value of this proper pressurized air is transferred here, then what will happen? First, see, this is a job now we have used, but prior to the job I have used one standard. Okay, I have used one standard, and in that standard what happened, when this air will be passed to these openings, this air will be striking to this surface. Similarly, previously it has it has impacted on this surface, and the back pressure is generated. Back pressure is generated. This back pressure means what? Some air is again transferred in opposite direction, and that pressure is measured with the help of manometer, the change in pressure. Okay. So we have the specific value of back pressure when the standard is used, then this standard is removed and this job is used. So now these back pressure values can be compared with the job back pressure values. If the value of back pressure is more, what does it mean? This hole is smaller than required one, then I have to again make a cut with the help of drill so that it can be increased. Again I have to do the same thing. I have to just move this object over this, or the hole over this component or this piston, and we have to again measure the back pressure. So we have to ensure that the back pressure is coming is close to the whatever back pressure we got with the help of the standards. Okay. So this is basically a simple construction of pneumatic with the help of back pressure generated when this air will impacting on the surface. Will be able to compare the dimensions, and most of the times this pneumatic comparator is used to check the holes and the uniformity of holes and the dimensions of, to compare the dimensions of hole as well. Same principle that we have already discussed. It is cheaper, simple to operate and low cost, free from mechanical hysteresis and wear. Magnification is also very high, maybe 10,000 times. The gauging member is not in direct contact with the work. Indicating and measuring is done at two different places. Tapers, ovality can be easily detected. For tapers also, we know that as we are moving this, so if it is a taper, we will be able to judge the back pressure. In case of taper, the back pressure will be continuously increasing because the dimension will be reducing. Disadvantage, they are very sensitive. So, if it is very sensitive, in those cases it may commit inaccuracies. Okay. The accuracy may be influenced by the surface roughness of the component being checked. That is again the possibility, because where due to the surface roughness back pressure values will little bit vary. Different gauging heads are needed for different jobs. As we have discussed, this gauging head can be used for internal dimension. Likewise, different gauging heads are required for regulators and for different jobs. Auxiliary equipment such as air filter, pressure gauges and regulators are needed. And already we have discussed the differences between this mechanical comparators, pneumatic comparators, etc., and electrical comparator, mechanical comparators. We have discussed their advantages, disadvantages, etc. So this was about the comparators. So we'll stop here, and in next lecture probably we'll be starting your third module, which is for screw measurements, gear terminologies, etc.